Hello and welcome to Picking Up the Crap, the April 2014 edition. I'm your host, the one, the only Jodecideion. Picking Up a Crap is a series that covers the North American video game market. These numbers are provided by the NPD group, and they cover hardware and software sales for the video game industry. Here are the top 10 best-selling games at retail across all platforms for the month of April 2014. The best-selling game across all platforms for the month of April was Titanfall across Microsoft-only consoles. Number 2, Call of Duty Ghosts across 6 platforms. Number 3, NBA 2K14 across 5 platforms. Number 4, Minecraft, Xbox 360 exclusive. Number 5, Lego The Hobbit across 7 platforms. Number 6, the Lego Movie video game across 7 platforms. Number 7, Lego Marvel Superheroes across 8 platforms. Number 8, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 across 5 platforms. Number 9, Grand Theft Auto 5 across 2 platforms. And number 10, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag across 6 platforms. Here are the hardware numbers for the month of April 2014. Unfortunately, Microsoft was the only company to release an official press release. The rest of the numbers are guesstimations given to us by inside sources and gathered by the people over at NeoGAF. The best-selling home console for the month of April 2014 was the PlayStation 4, selling somewhere around 199,000 systems, but it could be lower than that. This is not an official number. This is a guesstimation from inside sources. Number 2, with an official number of 115,000 systems, the Xbox One. Number 3 was a guesstimation of somewhere between 101,000 to 106,000, the Nintendo 3DS. Number 4, an official number of 71,000 systems, the Xbox 360. Number 5, somewhere around 49,000 systems, the Nintendo Wii U. Number 6, somewhere around 35,000 systems, the PlayStation 3. Number 7, somewhere between 17,000 and 18,000 systems, the Nintendo Wii. And last but not least, at around 3,000 systems, the PlayStation Vita. It's now time for the Going Public segment of Picking Up the Crap. This is a segment of the video where either I comment on various stories that happen throughout the month, or go in a little bit more in detail with the overall numbers of the recent NPD. The first thing I'd like to comment on is Microsoft officially announcing they're going to release an Xbox One for $399 to compete with the PS4. But this Xbox One will not have the Kinect add-on. Basically, in my opinion, this is Microsoft saying they messed up with the Kinect, is not doing what they want, is not moving the console, is not helping them expand their overall audience, and if they want to compete with the PS4, they're going to have to go ahead and basically, get rid of it right now. Now, they're saying they're not getting rid of it. They're saying it's still there. It's still going to be a major part of their console in the future when it comes to games and the other activities and features that the Xbox One has. But overall, they do know that right now, people are not buying the Xbox One because they don't want to pay the extra $100 for a Kinect device they're not going to use at all. In theory, you can almost say this is basically a price cut already, and we're only 5-6 months into this generation with the Xbox One. But as of right now, the PS4 is outselling the Xbox One every month since the release. It's $100 cheaper, and despite having probably the most hyped game so far this generation, Titanfall, it didn't do anything to help push the Xbox One. And if you're at Microsoft, who don't really have a great huge number of overall first-party exclusive titles that you can really use to push your console, you got to do anything you can to make sure you stay in pace with the PS4. So this move is a smart move, especially right now where you're still in a competitive fight with the PS4. Let the PS4 start getting some of these good games that we think they're going to have eventually. Let it start happening, and we can finally see the shift happening from 360 guys going to PS4 instead of going to Xbox One. Regardless, it definitely seems like Microsoft is right now worried because they're already pushing out another Halo that should be out next year, Halo 5, and then also they plan to release a Master Chief, at least according to rumor, a Master Chief Xbox One bundle Basically, it's going to be all four of the first Halo games remastered for the Xbox One. And they're going to sell that again. So they're really going with their flagship title, the reason you buy a Microsoft console, Halo, to really be the key figure, the main reason to have an Xbox One. We'll find out next year and this fall if that's the best move for them. Now, in this last part of going public, as always, I want to give you a closer look at the overall sale of software so far this generation. Like I say in every video, right now the industry is in bad shape because gamers are not buying games. If you're not buying games, there's no reason to buy a console because that's what you play it on. Even though for the PS4's sake, right now its success is about hype. It's about potential. What's coming in the future? When that great new game for that PS4 is going to come out? And I want to have the PS4 right now while they're hard to get. I want to have it, I want to sit on it until that game comes out. In case of the Xbox One, you kind of know what you're going to get from Microsoft. Right now you're waiting for what they're going to create next. When is it going to be the next game that they're going to create? Because their library from the Xbox and Xbox 360 has been consistent. It's been the same. A certain style of game, a certain type of game. And so you're kind of waiting for the fresh new idea they bring out. That's why you get an Xbox One if you're, not already part of the Microsoft brand. If you're a Nintendo fan, you basically know what you're going to get. You've been getting it for years now, decades now. But every now and then, it's that new surprise, it's that new sensation they create that only Nintendo can provide. You're waiting for that. And then also the return of classic games, classic franchises. So that's the reason you probably hold on off of Wii U. You're waiting to see that old game make a return for the Wii U, or maybe that fresh new idea that comes out of the gamepad feature. Still, overall, gamers right now are not feeling the current lineup of games they have across any console. For the month of April, individual SKU, the best-selling next-generation game was Infamous Second Son. Now, as we know, Infamous was not in the top 10 of the NPD. Maybe because the NPD is about multiplats. Selling on multiple consoles give you an overall bigger amount of sales you can have. Titanfall was number 1. Titanfall last month released on the 360 finally. Overall, the sales for that game for the month came off the 360 version. Basically, people who didn't want to buy Xbox One or couldn't afford to buy Xbox One decided to get that game on their 360 they already own. The main reason I bought Infamous is, like I said, on the individual SKU, it was the best-selling next-gen game across Wii U, PS4, and Xbox One. Still, the game only sold around 82,000 copies, according to the inside sources of the NPD. Think about that. Remember, after the first 10 days of the release in March, Sony came out and said that they shipped maybe 1 million or 2 million games in a matter of the 10, 11 days. Now think about this. In America, we know for a fact in the first month it sold around 500,000 copies, a little bit above that. The second month, full month, only sold 82,000 copies in the North American market. So as of right now, the game has sold maybe around 600,000 copies in the U.S. market. That leaves about 1,400,000 copies sold to the rest of the world. If you believe Sony's projections saying that they shipped 2 million copies in the first 10 days. Still, it's this kind of misinformation that gives you a exaggerated look on the industry. When they say they did something, but then you actually see the numbers and it's nowhere impossible that they could have done it. It's basically them, just kind of trying to cover up. And don't be wrong, everybody does this. According to the NPD inside sources, as of right now, the PS4 has sold a little bit over 3 million systems in the North American market. The Xbox One is a little bit over 2.5 million in the North American market, and the Wii U is sitting under 2.5 million systems sold in the North American market. So overall, there's a decent sized user base out there to buy games that are released each month. But as we know, people are not buying games. Take the Wii U for example. The Wii U is not going in its second year. It's been on the market a lot longer than everybody else, a whole full year, and it's been struggling. Why has it been struggling? Mainly due to the games not being sold. Yes, you can say advertisement. Yes, you can say misinformation. Yes, you can say a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, people are not buying video games. Video game software is a reason to buy video game hardware. If there's no game worth playing, you're not going to buy the machine, the device to play it on. And that's what's wrong with the Wii U right now. I can sit here all day long and tell you about all the great games on the Wii U, But once again, that's my opinion. I bought the games, I spent my money on the games, I'm enjoying the games. Not everybody else feels the same way, and it shows in the overall sales of these games. For example, the year-to-date numbers for Luigi U, the add-on to Super Mario U for the Wii U in North America, is just above 250,000 copies sold. Remember, this game's only half price, like $19.99. Still, only above 250,000 people in the U.S. market bought the game. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was released in February. A hot game, highly rated, excellent game. As of right now, has still only sold above 230,000 copies in North American market. Pikmin 3, another exclusive game, highly rated, highly touted, same sales ratio, somewhere around 230,000 copies sold since release. Third-party games, Rayman, Sonic, Monster Hunter Ultimate 3 are just now above 100,000 copies sold in North American market. And then the sad exclusive for Wii U, One for 101, is as of right now 74,000 copies sold in North American market. As of right now, the majority of these games have only sold to 10% of the overall user base in the North American market for the Wii U, and in some cases even lower than that. So at the end of the day, for the Wii U, for the PS4, for the Xbox One, what are you buying to play on these consoles? If you bought a console. If there's something you're waiting for, do you actually think it's going to come out? Because you know, it's cause and effect. You have to sell now to have money to make money, to then use that money to create new product. If the money's not being made, products not going to be made in the future, and you're not going to have anything to play in the future. So, like I said, what are you buying if you have these consoles? And if you don't have these consoles, what would it take for you to buy these consoles? What type of game? What type of experience? What is it you're looking for? Alright, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this going public on Pick Up the Crap. I'll see you guys next month. Until then, take care.